Welcome to our last week. Congratulations, you made it to this particular point. I'm very, very proud of you. Please put me on the list of people who is proud of you for your accomplishments for this summer. A summer class is not easy, an online class is not easy, and you did both. Good job. I want you to notice that this week actually ends on Saturday the 10th, not on Sunday. And that impacts when you reply to two classmates for your discussions for chapters 13 and 14. They need to be done by Saturday at 11:55. So keep that in mind that this week is a shortened week, that your replies to classmates need to be done a day early. So there are 4 parts to this week. We're going to be talking about chapter 13, how culture influences the treatment of psychological disorders. Like culture and psychotherapy, how you have a Western perspective and an Eastern perspective. Receiving treatment, different barriers to treatment, treatment issues, how to be culturally competent. Again, ethics, right? American Counseling Association, American Psychological Association, ethics considerations here, how to be culturally competent. Then, indigenous and traditional healing techniques. Now for chapter 13, you only have a discussion. There's no quiz, no reflection. I gave you off for those 2 things this week, no quiz and no reflection, so you'll have time to work on your cultural interviews in your final exam. We'll touch on that in a second. Part 2, we have chapter 14, our last chapter for the year, on culture and social behavior. How culture influences how we perceive people, attributions, in other words, how we explain why people do things, mate selection, love, marriage, conformity, compliance, obedience, even cooperation and intergroup relationships, aggression, acculturation. So a really big chapter on understanding how people, how culture influences social behavior. Again, we have a discussion only for this particular chapter. No quiz, no reflection, because I want you to focus on 2 bigger items. Part 3 is I need you to submit the cultural interviews. Now we've been talking about this all semester, so you're very familiar with it. The cultural interviews are due on Friday the 9th at 11:55 to the Dropbox. They will not be accepted late because we're right at the end of the semester. So you must get those in on time. Again, the cultural interviews are due Friday, August 9th at 11:55, and they will not be accepted late. The last thing we're doing for this class is we have our final exam. The final exam is just like the midterm exam. Okay, so it's essay-based over the chapters that we've covered. Make sure you use good vocabulary, give me good examples, cite frequently. Let there be no doubt that you know the information. Make sure you have that word count accounted for, okay? So submit that to me by Saturday, August 10th at 11:55 p.m. Saturday, August 10th at 11:55. This is the very last day, the very last moment, so this cannot be accepted late. So make sure you get all the good things in, and I look forward to looking at your culture interviews and seeing how much you've learned in the class, as well as your final exam, wrapping up what we've learned in these last chapters.